Hello, hello, engineers. Welcome back to the Xbox Series X and Space Engineers, the next part of the mobile-based build on the D-Wolf. One plays Space Engineers. We have 4 very large thrusters, and we're looking to make this into a mobile headquarters. So the next thing we need, barring the refiner, the couple of assemblers that we've got, is a way to recharge our energy and hydrogen. And when you've got this kind of level of build, you should have already found silver. Once you've got silver, you can make a medical station. Remember, we're playing on survival, but we're using creative to speed things up on the RB and Y button. So there we go. Admin tools, you'll see we've got creative move tools on, and we've got invulnerable on, because we don't want any mistakes causing catastrophes. What we want, though, is to set this system up. So we're looking at gas and logistics. We want a H2 and O2 generator. We want to look where the ports are. Right, so we're there. Okay, so first things first, we want to pop one of these here. And I'm not going to connect that port there to this box. What I'm actually going to do is I'm going to use the covered conveyors, create a little I want access to this generator. I want green lights all across the board. Right, so now ice in here will travel to here for that part. And so what we want is we're gonna pop out this here, and then we're going to cut the floor out. Yeah. So, and floor out here as well, because there is a port beneath the generator, and that's what I want to use. I want to pop a curved conveyor, and it's all right to bring it out like this, work out where it is, so underneath like that. Then reinforced conveyor tube, and what we want here is we want the reinforced tube like that. Want the conveyor to come off that tube like so. Hopefully we've got that connected. If you want to test that, you can. And one of the easiest ways to test it is just to build another junction like this and just connect something like a small cargo container to it. There you go, green lights across the board. We can pop an armor block in there to hide that. Now we've got the connection there. We want to come across to production, medical, cryo chamber, medical room, and rooms have a connector. If you look there, bring it down, connect it there, and refill our power. We won't be able to refill our hydrogen yet, but that's in hand. We've got the connection all the way through here, and we've got ice to go in here. We actually have an ice deposit to go to. But what we could do as well is we can have a ship, say, dock up here and drop resources off. So we simulate that by going into the spawn menu and just popping some ice in this connector. It's one I prepared earlier. You'll see it'll sit there and move through the system. Where's it going? Well, it's going all the way through here, down through this refiner set, being pulled into this large cargo container and into the generator. Because ice is automatically pulled into your ship's systems as long as you've got an O2 H2 generator. The same with stone will be pulled into this refinery or any ore, because that's what refiners do. You don't need conveyors. So if I wanted a little bit of stone, I could drop it in the top and refine it here. Now we can refill both power and our hydrogen. And we can also refill any missing bottles, like so. So we've got our medical center working. It'll also act as our respawn, so we can go here. Best to go to control panel. Thinking about it. We've got slight motion on this as well. Room. And you could name it. So you know which, and its spawn name is Nova HQ. Okay, so that's that. That's that. What do we want now? Well, we want some way of moving this thing. We want to make it turn. And what we want here then is a gyroscope. To begin with, start with one gyro, and then we're going to add some thrust, because at the moment this thing only has upper thrust, down force. So what we want here are some thrusters. We're using the Sci-Fi atmospherics, which are all the way over on the right hand side here. The decoration 3 on mine. We want to swap them to these. And for your thrust here, you could put them as close to this part of the assembly as we want, and we can dig them into the ceiling here, like so. Remember, we've got our big 4 thrusters. So now we need to be able to move backwards and forwards. Well, a nice space here. And this is a big ship or base, so we don't want it moving overly fast, and we don't want to go overboard with the thrusters. Doesn't matter if it takes a while to get where it's going, because it's going to stop there for a while. So that's our forward thrust, and remember, we need an equal amount of thrust provided on either side. Give us a decent stopping speed. Otherwise, it's going to take absolutely ages for this thing to stop moving. So that's forward, backward. And we want side to side. Well, don't we just pop the same amount of thrusters like this here? Some blocks in this bit. Um, uh, three there. So we've got side to side. Missing this side, so we'll just add this. There's our thrusters. Maneuvering this thing. And what we can do as well, we'll add those, since I'm pretty much happy with the amount of thrusters I'm going to be using to the helm. They'll all be on at the moment. So what we want to do is go to the control panel, and we can get away with searching for sci-fi. Select the lot. Time being. We want to look at them all off, but that will toggle these on. But that's fine because there's only 4 of them. We can turn them off as well. Now we've got all that. We'll go to the top again. Right at the top, make sure your thrust overrides are disabled. Select all of these. I'm just going to band select them like this quickly rather than using the other button combination, and then we'll put them into a group. We'll rename these to mobile HQ. Thrust. Mobile HQ thrusters. And while we're here in this as well, this is Large Grid 1600. So we want to change its name to Mobile HQ. And this is really important. If you're playing on a server, some server admins literally go around deleting grids that don't have a proper name, and you can get caught out by that. So there we go. That is, click on OK to apply the changes. And now we have a thruster group. So we're going to pop that under groups, Mobile HQ thrusters, toggle block on off. There we go. All thrusters active. No thrusters active. Next thing we want to do is we want to go in while we're in here and look at our large magnetic plates. Select all 4 of those, turn auto lock off and turn use for parking off. Then change their name to Mobile HQ gear or whatever variant. Save that off. And we'll pop that down on the D-pad under groups. There they are. And we go to switch lock. And now that's our little mobile base. It's thrusters. The next thing we want to put on here is a large grid or detector. If we're playing vanilla, we'll be using that. And we're going to boost all that. Antenna. Once we've set those, remember you can access any control panel. So, or you can go back to your helm as well. Antenna. We want to push its broadcast radius up. And then our ore detector, 150 meters. And put that on a toggle as well. While we're here on the helm, we also want this helm so that we turn target locking off. Don't want the target lock to appear for now. So we have thrusters, we have a way to recharge a jetpack, hydrogen, and in theory we have landing gear. The moment of truth would be to turn the thrusters on, make a save, and just turn all your thrusters on, and then cut this free from its charge station. And as I said, since we're playing in creative mode, we can take some shortcuts here and there. Hold down the right trigger, pull it all the way down to the rotor, let go, and you'll delete everything except the rotor, because you'll delete the rotor part. Same as this, pull all this back here if you want, or there's another way you could do it. Since we're in creative, just point at this grid, press the right sticky, tap the right trigger, depending on where you are. On blueprint actions, so you see the right trigger will take you through these menus. Right bumper on cut grid and get rid of it. And our mobile base is now in the air, free and easy, doing its own thing. Our batteries are fully depleted in 2 hours. And there's a reason that I put our mobile bases wind turbines together, like I did. Now, if you gently tap B, you can pull back on your view. Ooh. Curtain is a bit of a pain to land on. We gently tap until we get ready to lock. Lock our landing gear. Turn our thrusters off. And we are on the ground. You'll notice that the wind turbines now at the back are generating power. Take a look at my batteries. One day, fully recharge. So we have a mobile headquarters, a skeleton of one at least. You don't want it turning like a fighter, so really got to worry about that. We have a recharge. We have a way of getting cargo aboard. And we have this central point here, which is going to be used for our next edition, which is going to be some form of drill pit. We also need to think how we're going to get on and off this without the jetpack. There's a couple of ways you could do it. If you want to keep it simple, you can use the built-in ladder blocks that the game has. It's a simple solution. Or you can go a little bit more market, and you can go for one of the new ladder shafts. Like so. Cut out this floor. Here you could literally climb up that ladder shaft into the ship without needing to use a door. Into the base even, without needing to use a door. That'd be about right there. Put a jetpack in. And vice versa. If you want to get back out, you just need to press X on the ladder. And you've got your way on and off. Here, like so. And again, it depends on your preference. You could even close this. Like so. Nice and neat. And you can copy that off to the other side if you're feeling that you want a door. You could put a door there. And the offset doors would work quite well for this. So, one mobile base. The preparation for some form of drill. And since we're down on fairly decent flat ground, our drill pit is in a good place. If you don't want all those batteries showing as well, you can cover them. Light armor panels where possible. Put one there though, you won't be able to close your ship off or your base. It just makes things look a bit nicer. If you notice, you can't, I don't think, unless they fixed it, no, you can't put one. So it's best just to leave it like that. Symmetry. That's where your next lift shaft is going to be. You can see it's got some arrows on it already. Right now. Also good. Pull this across here like that. Like that. And we're getting there. And so on the next video, we will look at the drill pit. Look at that. Recharged. And just always save when you're doing stuff like this. But to test the flight capabilities of this thing, turn the thrusters on, turn this off. We have 2 hours just hovering. 56 minutes on thrust. vertical. It turns slowly, but that's to be expected. Still 2 hours on hover. 1 hour on forward flight. .9 minutes on diagonal. And tap the B button. You don't want to slam it because you're on Pertum, and the gravity on Pertum is quite nightmarish. But you'll notice as we get closer, there's nickel. There's some ice. There's the nickel we spotted. Here. And there's your mobile sort of headquarters in terms of its functionality. A 2 hour hover. Now, things might get a little tricky. Pertum is not a friendly place to land on. Lots of little trees and plants and things can impact the ship base. So you always want to look at a place where you could potentially set down that was a little easier to land. But we've got a save, so we can just try it out. And what you're looking for as you operate this is when your landing gear says ready to lock, and not before, because if you turn the thrusters off while this thing is up in the air, we're as close as we're going to be. If we can't get it down a little bit better, we're good. Might want to think about altering the way that we get on and off, but we'll have a think on that one. It's off, and there we go. We have landed. A bit of mining. Seems okay. These are just slightly balanced above the ground, but that doesn't matter. At least one leg's locked. That's all we need for the turbines to kick in and to start recharging. And remember, when we've got the drill pit, we'll also have lights underneath here as well. So this thing will be able to provide light in the area around it. And there you go. That is the mobile base as it is. I may change the way you get on and off it. I'll see how things work. Until then, though, stay safe, take care, have fun, enjoy the game. There's lots of cool stuff coming. Hopefully we'll hear at some point about Grid AI. I keep on saying this in the vain hope that it will happen. Of course, these things can't be rushed, especially not a sweeping, massive change like this. However, that's all from me for now. I will catch you in the next one. Thank you very much for your time, the luxury of your attention, and your support. Once we hit 2,000 subscribers, we will release the all-terrain armoured transport from Star Wars. So we shall keep on pushing. Bye.